Hello everyone, welcome to CloudOps Craft. Today we are going to discuss about CI/CD concepts, and I'm going to explain what happens after you push your code. Okay? So let's start. What is CI/CD? Imagine you are working on a team of 10 developers, everyone pushing code daily. How do you make sure all changes are tested, integrated, and deployed without breaking production? That's where CI/CD comes in. Okay. CI stands for continuous integration. CD stands for, we can say it as a continuous delivery or continuous deployment. Okay, here our major goal is automate everything after writing code. Okay, first we will build it. Once we done build, we will test that build. Once it is working as expected, then we will release. After that, we will deploy. Okay, so first we will discuss about like a old method versus CI/CD, which means like a old school versus CI/CD. In traditional models, you have to wait 2 weeks for a release, manual testing, Excel-based QA reports. Then one Friday night, someone pushes to prod and it breaks. CI changed that. Okay, nothing is uh, here. If you push, it will automatically test. Okay, code is always in a deployable state. Teams deploy several times per day. If your team is not using CI/CD, you are not really doing DevOps. Okay, so this is the thing is changed in CI/CD. Okay, so what triggers the CI/CD pipeline? You may have this question, right? What triggers the CI/CD pipeline? Developer pushes code. Okay, consider they are pushing into GitHub. Okay, there will be we will have a webbook in Git. Okay, Git webbook triggers CI/CD tools. Whether if you are using a CI/CD tool as Jenkins or GitHub Actions or GitLab CI, the same method will like the same method only. Okay, so how it will automatically trigger with the help of webbook, Git webbook. Okay, you push a commit to main. Okay, Jenkins get notified via webbook. Jenkins start running pipeline steps automatically. So how it works? If developer pushes, if developer pushing the code, then what will happen is it will go to GitHub webbook. It will trigger. It will trigger your. It will trigger Jenkins pipeline. Okay. So Jenkins pipeline will be start. It will start the Jenkins pipeline. Okay, so whenever developer pushes, your webbook will trigger and it will start Jenkins pipeline. Okay, this is how it works. While coming to continuous integration, we need to know the like a like a continuous integration pipeline typical steps. Okay, let's discuss one by one. While coming to CI, okay, CI pipeline typical steps. Okay, first what we will do, we will check out the code. Okay, after checking out, we will install the dependencies. We will install dependencies. After installing dependencies, we will check the syntax. Okay, so we will lint the code. After linting the code, we will run unit test. Okay, after that, we will build the artifact. whether it may be a Docker image, jar file, or binary. Okay. After building the artifact, we will package plus upload to the registry. It may be a Docker Hub, S3, or a Nexus. Okay, based on your setup. Okay. For example, for a Python app, okay, consider you are using CI/CD as a GitHub Actions. Okay, GitHub Actions installs split packages. It will run PyTest. It will lint with Flake 8, then builds a Docker image and pushes to ECR. Okay, here like there are so many CI/CD tools are available in the market: Jenkins, GitHub Actions, GitLab CI, Circle CI, and all. Okay, so based on your need, you can choose. Okay, and you can work. All will do CI/CD operations only. Okay. Next is you need to know the difference between continuous delivery and continuous deployment. Continuous delivery versus continuous deployment. Okay. So while coming to continuous delivery, code is always ready to deploy, but a human clicks deploy button. Okay. While coming to continuous deployment, code goes to production automatically after passing CI. Okay. For example, now company deploys hundreds of changes per day using continuous deployment. For banking apps, teams often prefer continuous delivery for manual approval. Okay. Mostly for production, we will go with manual approval to avoid unnecessary issues. So how it works? CI to once the CI is passed, it will go to continuous delivery. Okay. This is for manual deploy. Okay. So but if you need an automatic deploy, then you can go after CD, you can go with continuous deployment. Okay. It will automatically deploy to the environment. Auto deploy. Okay. So for staging dev environments and all, you can use continuous deployment. For production, you can go with continuous delivery. Okay. So next is CI/CD pipeline. Okay. We will go step by step demo flow. Okay. CI/CD pipeline. Let's say a dev pushes new code to feature login branch. What happens next? So while coming to pipeline, let me explain pipeline steps, how it works. Okay. While coming to pipeline steps, okay, it we will push to GitHub. Consider we are using GitHub as a source code management tool, like for web hosting. Okay, to web host our Git repositories, we are using GitHub. Okay, to host our Git repos. Okay, we are using GitHub. So what next will what will be the next? It will trigger the webhook. Once it's triggered the webhook, Jenkins job will start. Okay, it will trigger the Jenkins job. Okay, after that, stage by stage process will happen. First stage, what you have to do is first stage we have to lint your code. Lint plus unit test. Okay, once it's done, go to second step, build the image using Docker. Okay, so you can build Docker image, which will be stage 2. Okay, after building your Docker image, in stage 3, what we will do, we will push image to registry. It may be an ECR, okay, or Docker. Okay, In a stage 4, what we will do? What will be the next stage? Once you push image to ECR, okay, we will deploy to Kubernetes using Elm. This is one of the pipeline process. Okay, in real time, if you are not using Kubernetes, if you are using anything else, like if you are using only Docker, then process will vary. Okay, I'm just explaining one flow. Okay, so it will deploy to KTS using Elm. Okay, after deploying, what we will do, we will run a smoke test. Okay, so stage 5 will be running a smoke test. After that, we will notify Slack, or we will use based on our messaging tool. Okay, we will notify the status in Slack, or you can even use Teams. Okay, this is how in real time we will work with CI/CD. Okay, if you are using Kubernetes, then this is how we will deploy. Like we will create our pipeline step by step. Okay. Here for CI, we are using GitHub Actions. Okay, for building, you can take whether Jenkins or GitHub Actions for CI. For build, we are taking Docker. For artifact store, we can take ECR or Nexus or S3. For CD, we can use Argo CD or Spinnaker or Elm. For notifications, you can even use email notifications, Slack, Teams. Okay, based on your need. For storing your secrets, you can use SOPs, sealed secrets, wallet. Okay, based on your need, you can choose and you can build your stages accordingly. Okay, next is CI/CD for Kubernetes and cloud projects. Okay, here consider we are using Jenkins plus Elm plus EKS. Okay, we will with the help of Jenkins, what we will do? We will run build and test. Okay, with the help of Elm, what we will do? We will deploy to Kubernetes. Okay, EKS. Okay, what we will do? After that, we will roll out. Okay, we will roll out to. We will use KTS rollout with the kubectl command. Kubectl rollout. Okay, to roll out your changes. Okay, while coming to GitOps with Argo CD. Okay, what we will do is dev pushes Kubernetes YAML to GitHub. Okay, Argo CD watches the Git repo. Okay, if some changes happened, Argo CD syncs and applies changes to the cluster. Here, Git will act as a single source of truth for. Okay, so based even someone in your team manually changes something in the cluster. Okay, it will automatically resync. Okay, Argo CD will automatically resync the code that you have in the Git. Okay, so let's discuss about real world DevOps use case. Scenario one, we can take microservices in EKS. Okay, so like let's take scenario one while coming to real world DevOps use case. Okay, we can take scenario one. Scenario one is microservices in EKS. Okay, how we will create the build processes. First, we will push. Okay, for example, if you are using Jenkins, okay, then we will use Jenkins for continuous integration. From Jenkins, we will build Docker image, and we will push that into ECR. Once we push it into ECR, we will use Elm to deploy it. Okay, and it will run our Kubernetes on EKS cluster. Once it's deployed, you can send this Slack alert. Everything we have to write as a stages. Okay, so here we are just learning what is CI/CD. I'll make a separate playlist for CI/CD with Jenkins and GitHub Actions in upcoming days, so you can get good understanding on CI/CD tools also. Okay, consider scenario two. Okay, now I am going to work with the static website. Okay, so then whenever I push HTML and CSS code, okay, to the GitHub Actions, what it will do, okay, whenever you push something into GitHub Actions, we can upload that into S3. After that, we can validate it in invalidate it in CloudFront Catchy. Okay. So you have to write based on this scenario, you are going to write the stages in CI/CD. Okay, let's take another scenario. Scenario 3. Okay, here we are going to work with Terraform. Okay, to create infrastructure. Okay, to provision infrastructure. Whenever you push your TF code, okay, so into the for example, consider we are using GitHub Actions as CI/CD tool. Okay, GitHub Actions. Okay, what it will do? It will do Terraform plan. Okay, once like mostly you can do manual approve, otherwise you can do auto approve also. Okay, so for example, consider I am doing manual apply. Next, what will happen? It will provision AWS. And for example, if you are writing code to create EC2 instance, it will create an EC2 instance for you. You have to, based on the scenario, you have to write the CI/CD stages step by step. Okay, so let's discuss about CI/CD best practices. Always run test before deploying. Okay. Second is use branch production and code reviews. Separate your build and deploy stages. Use encrypted secrets like wallet or SOPs. Okay. Set up auto rollback on deployment failure. Okay. Additionally, you can deploy with deployment strategies like kernel deployments. You can use kernel deployments, or you can use blue green deployment strategy. Each has some purpose. Okay, again I'll create a separate video for this and I'll explain where we can use kernel deployments, where we can use blue green deployments, and even you can use feature flags. Okay, so based on your need you can choose. Okay, I'll create a separate video for the difference between kernel deployments versus blue green deployments, and where to use kernel deployments and where to use blue green deployments. Okay, and the thing is, now you understood, right, what is CI/CD. CI/CD is not just automation. Okay, it's your engine for speed, safety, and stability. If you master the CI/CD pipeline, you can deploy confidently, recover quickly, and scale fearlessly. If you found this breakdown helpful, let me know in the comments. Subscribe to Cloud Ops Craft. We simplify DevOps, cloud, and core computing concepts every week. Thank you.